All right, today is October 27th. I'm really excited about our call today. We have some fun things going on. And let's see, I lost Mandy. Where did she go? Did we lose her?
No, I'm here. I
Oh,
just
there you
had
are.
opened my window. So
Okay, there you are. I was like, oh my gosh, the sea of people, and then I lost Mandy.
no, I'm here. I'm
Um,
just
well, we're
adjusting.
really excited for our guest today. I wanted to introduce everybody to her, and many of you probably already know her, and I'm excited that she's going to share some of her wisdom with us. Mandy is a gem, and she and I actually just recently connected, but I love her, the way her mind works and her marketing experience and background. And so what we're going to be talking today is kind of how to help you be more present online and to bring in a steady flow of customers specifically for doTERRA, since that's where Mandy, all of her clients and the people that she works with are in doTERRA, in the essential oil world. And so we're speaking specifically to you and how to better position yourself in a way that will bring in those people that want what you have to offer. But let me tell you a little bit more about Mandy and what some of the things that you'll love about her. So she's a lifelong believer that there's potential within everyone. She's a triathlon coach that's helped all ages, sizes, and abilities. With they've completed hundreds of triathlons. Is that right? Through even in
Yeah.
the USA National Triathlon Champions. So that's really awesome. She's also a basketball coach. Are you currently teaching, or is?
No, I actually, when we moved here, I
Uh-huh.
quit coaching high school. So
Oh, that's awesome. I love that she is notorious for taking teams that were at the bottom and then moving them to the top. She's passionate about encouraging individuals to share their unique voice with the world. And that is why she loves marketing so much and why we have her here today. She's been building funnels, creating ads, and building out automation for almost 2 years. So she's sort of going to give us a sneak peek into how she brings people into her doTERRA business so that you can then duplicate that same process for you as well. She's been married to her BFF for 23 years. She's been a wellness advocate in doTERRA for 10 years, and her favorite oil is balance. She's a mom of four, a stroke survivor, a YouTuber, and a family girl. She loves chips and salsa and national parks. So we're really excited to have her with us. Thank you so much, Mandy.
yeah, thanks so much for having me. I am excited to share with you just a few of my tips that hopefully will help you grow your business in a more direct way. And I just have to give a shout out to Starly. Thank you for making this connection, Starly. She's the one that introduced me to Megan. And I'm excited to kind of share with you what I love. I literally could eat, sleep, breathe marketing. Once I found this, I was like, it blended my two favorite things, oils and marketing together. And I was like, I love it so much. So I'm really excited to get started today. I love having interaction. And so I'm going to teach you a few tips that you're going to want probably a pen and paper to write down with. But if today, as we're going through the training and you're feeling like you have any light bulb moments or any mind-blowing moments or gratitude moments, or you start to feel like you're on fire, I'm actually going to drop some emojis in the chat box and you can just put them in the chat box. I love the feedback just to know what content is helpful, maybe what has helped you to feel inspired. And so, today we're going to talk through, I know you've talked a little bit about target market. I'm going to challenge you a little bit more with that. So we'll talk a little bit about that. There will be a Q&A time. So if you are feeling like you've got questions, put them in the chat or just write them down so that when we open up the mics, you've got a chance to ask. I can even help kind of walk you through and coach, helping you get even more targeted with your target market if that's something that you want towards the end, if we've got time for it. And we're also going to talk about how to share your unique message with the world. And I love this so much because each one of us has something within us. We're so unique. We're so different. All of our experiences are completely different. And I think sometimes we get in our heads that we're all doing doTERRA, right? We're all sharing essential oils. But the fact of the matter is that we all have a different experience with our essential oils. We have a different life. We have different thoughts. And every single one of my doTERRA teams has a personality. And that's because they're speaking from their heart. And so one of my teams that the people they attract are people who are into adoption and crafting in Disneyland, whereas the other one, another one is like dog trainers. Another one is like all about gut health. And those are the people that they're attracting because they've learned how to speak that language. And I know each one of you and even like the admins, the diamonds that are on here, we all have this voice within us that we want to share with the world. Sometimes we struggle with knowing how to share that. And so I'm going to walk through, a portion of how to get this out to the world today. Now I'm going to share my screen real quick. There we go. It's this one right here. Sometimes I share the whole thing. So if that happens, because I'll go back and forth, I'm sorry, my computer screen has always got like 25 windows open. I love this quote. Your mind is like a parachute. It only works when it's open. I love this quote because today I'm going to ask you to just open your mind. I know we learn a lot of different things, especially in doTERRA. I'm hoping that your parachute is open today so that you can take this all in. Now, I love action. And a couple weeks back, I went to a presentation by Eric Worre that was done by some of the presidentials. And he talked about how if he had to choose either a skill or his why, he would choose a skill every single day. And he explained the skills are what get us where we want to be. Our whys are super important as well. And we put tons of emphasis on it here in doTERRA. But more importantly is having those skills to implement the things that will help us live our why, live our true highest power. And so I want to tell you a little bit about my experience because this will help you to see kind of like how I got into marketing. And let's just go on to here where I'm actually going to share that link at the end for a boot camp that I'm running, a free boot camp. But back in 2019, I went to a diamond retreat in the summer. I don't know if anybody on this call was there. I was so excited to be at this retreat. Can I just tell you, super, super excited. And I knew that there was going to be somebody who had qualified for the Founders Club, Prime Meridian, that's what it is. Prime Meridian Founders Club. They were going to be sharing how they grew their business online. And I could not wait for this class. I was so excited. And the time came, I went to the class, I asked a ton of questions. It was like, and they just weren't giving me answers. Have you ever taken a course or a class where you're like, I actually need the answers. Like, I know how to do Canva. I know how to post online, but what are the answers? And finally, after I kept pushing this person, they said to me, listen, what we did online, you can't do because we have a degree and you don't, and it just requires this higher level. And so, yeah, this is an online class, but you're not going to be able to figure it out. And I was like, so mad. Can I just tell you, I left that class and I was like, I wanted to leave the whole thing. I was like so frustrated. And I left there with a goal. It actually was a really good thing for me because I was determined to learn the language of marketing after that. And that's really what propelled my desire to learn and grow. I wanted more than anything to be able to go back and be like, guess what? I figured it out. And I have. And here's one of the things that I have figured out is that selling online and creating an online experience, creating an online following is like making chili. Last night I was making chili for a chili cookout and I was thinking about this. Anyone can do it, but it only works when you have the right ingredients. Okay, anybody can throw a bunch of things into a chili crock pot, right? But it's only good and people want to eat it. Like last night, my chili came back empty, right? Like people wanted to eat it because it tasted good. And we have to learn how to speak to your people. That's probably the most important part of all of this. Now, back in 2019, I had a YouTube channel. I had been growing it for 8 years. I had 400 subscribers after 200 videos. Okay. So how many of you have like posted online a zillion times and you're like, what the heck? Why don't I have any subscribers? And part of that is I did not have the right recipe. And so I'm going to teach you part of the recipe today, and then you can get the rest in my free boot camp, because I'm all about sharing all of it. We don't have to hold it back from everybody. There is enough room for all of us online to grow online. This is not a lack of abundance. There is an abundance of people who are looking for our product and our message online. Okay, so when I decided to go online, I knew I had to pick a platform. Homework number 1 for you is to pick just one platform. I don't want you on 50. I don't want you on all of them. Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, TikTok, that is overwhelming. We will not get things done if we're overwhelmed with it. So you need to pick one platform. I picked that YouTube as my platform, and then I learned the recipe. And I'm going to teach you part of it today, because I can't teach the whole thing in like an hour or even 30 minutes. But you'll get a lot of it in my boot camp. I want you to learn the recipe for that and commit to consistency. Now, my consistency is I post once a week, every day, or once a week, every week for the entire year on YouTube. It's a 5-minute video. I went from having 400 subscribers to I'm almost to 5,000. Every single day I get 4 to 10 leads coming off of YouTube organically. Okay. Doesn't everybody want that, right? Isn't that super fun? So you need to choose one platform where your people hang out. That is going to depend on who your target market is, which is why it's so important for us to know who it is that we're talking to. And you might be saying, Mandy, I'm not sure how I know who I'm talking to, right? I just want to talk to people who love essential oils. I want you to dig deep and they're more than people who love essential oils. In fact, I did not love essential oils when I got introduced to doTERRA. In fact, I hated them. I thought they were this woo-woo thing. And I came to a class and my life was changed. Within 10 minutes, it was like everything shifted inside of me. So I would encourage you to not be looking for people who love essential oils. Look for people who resonate with you. Okay. And here's how to know who you need to talk to. This is one of my favorite things to do for my marketing clients. I want you to think of, if you had 5 minutes to prep, right? Just 5 minutes to prep to talk to someone. What would you talk about? Put it in the chat if you know. If I came to you and I was like, Carol, Hannah, Amanda, it's time for you to do a presentation in 5 minutes. What would you talk about? What brings that passion out inside of you? What makes you excited? What do you want to share with people? Is it your kids? Is it your family? Is it, me, I could talk basketball. I could talk triathlon. I could talk marketing, and there's probably more than one. Okay. Anti-life. I love it, Jamie. That's awesome. That's so fun. Right. And that's a huge audience. That would be a huge thing. And so I want you to think, what are some things you can talk about? Because that will help identify who your target market is, who you're talking to. Okay. Once you've identified what you love to talk about and what gets you excited, and it could be essential oils. Okay. But I want you to get more specific. Is it the basics of essential oils? Is it the safety of essential oils? Is it dogs and essential oils? I want you to dig deeper and really hone into authentically, where do your classes go? If you don't have any other topic besides essential oils, what do you tend to gravitate to while you're teaching classes? Toxic free living. This is a huge one. And that's got a huge audience right now. Gut health is amazing. Can I just tell you that this is a great one as well to be targeting. Minimalism. Oh my gosh, I love that. I need that in my life. I don't know if you can see my office, but I need this big time. Automating businesses. Yes, Starly's actually in one of my programs, and we share this love. Once you automate things, life changes forever. Okay, so we take these topics and then we figure out how to talk to people about this. And so I'm going to teach you probably my number one tip that maybe and in fact, as I'm teaching this, if you knew this tip already, can you just put it in I know Starly, you will know this tip because you have been all over my stuff learning. So here we go. I'm actually going to share my screen. And I was just teaching this to a couple of my builders. So I even have one up that's that we were just doing. And if you have a topic that you want me to research live for you, go ahead and put it in the comments, because I'm going to show you exactly how to attract your like ideal target market. Now, the first thing you have to do is go to a website called Keywords Everywhere. It is a Google extension. It's right here on my screen at the top, right here. Okay, it is a Google extension that goes on Chrome, and in order to use it, you have to buy $10 worth of credits. Now, the credits are like every time you search, it costs 0.00001 cents or something. So I have been using my credits for over a year, and I still have 43,000 left. You get 100,000 with $10. And so don't buy more than $10. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, you will not go through $10 worth in a year. Okay, so let's do gut health. I was just helping somebody with perfectionism. She's like, I like to speak to people who are perfectionists. Okay, so gut health. And I'm going to put naturally. And I'm going to show you how this tool works that will literally change your life forever. Oh my gosh, this is such a great topic. Okay, see, I love this stuff. It just like makes me excited, because I'm not like, this would not be something I talk about, but if you're talking about this, okay, so here's what you're looking for. When you put this extension in, it's going to bring you back statistics. And if you want to rank for things that, and actually pull in people who are searching for your stuff, you want to go and search that stuff. So gut health naturally. This tells us that 720 people are searching this on a monthly basis. For anybody who's just starting out, who doesn't have a huge online presence like all of us, because doTERRA, Young Living, Revive, they have huge online presence. We are trying to get anything under 1,000, right? 2,000 or under as well, but I would say try and keep it under 1,000. When you're under 1,000, you then know that you are going to have, like, you're going to be able to talk to people who are searching your thing, and you'll show up in the searches. Okay. So I pull this up. This is a great topic, gut health naturally. I would actually create, whether it's a title, an Instagram post, a video, I would say like 5 tips for gut health naturally, or how to naturally, well, we'd have to do gut health. So you have to go through and like create it with this key. This is called a long tail keyword. And here's why it's long tail, because if we put in gut health is going to pull back 90,000. Okay. So we have, and then let's just do gut. Let's see what gut is. Gut is 450,000. So we're basically just trying to get, to niche this down naturally. And then we want to come over here as well and see, okay, how to improve gut health naturally. That's 14,000. I don't know if I touched that yet. Importance of gut health. I would totally, if this was me, I would make a video on YouTube, and I would use this keyword in the title, importance of gut health. So it might be like, why the importance of gut health naturally is so important. So you would actually have gut health naturally. Like, can you see how you do a little bit of research and suddenly you're going to show up in searches. You're going to show up in the, like, you might actually say gut health naturally differently. We have to find what is actually being searched. Is this making sense? Am I going too fast? Am I talking too much? Okay, good. Okay, so the next secret, okay, because it's all about research. If you can just research, in fact, if you've taken anybody else's programs, and like Jen Courtier, she has a program where she teaches Facebook stuff. And she always, like, because I took her program, she was always like, oh yeah, and I'm really good at, like, I was a CSI girl and that's what my degree was in. And now I know why that was so important, because she knew how to research. She wasn't teaching that to us, but she knew how to research. So she's targeting the people that she wants to target. So the next step in this is, once you find a good keyword that you're going to write a post about, you're going to make a video about, whatever it is, a reel, whatever your platform is, then we come down here to what people are also asking. These are questions that are actually being asked by people. Okay. How can I improve my gut health? How can I improve my gut health naturally? Okay, this is like a great video. In fact, I need to just check this. Give me just a sec. Okay, so let's put this into YouTube and just see. This actually might not be a great YouTube title. We might have to change some things up on it. Let's just see here. Yeah, it's not, this is the second time it's giving me 100. So I'm not sure if this is, I'll look at something else. 17 million now. So we'd have to change this for YouTube. I would keep this like how to improve your gut health naturally. And then maybe like do like 5 tips. And what I'm looking at is the score analysis down here. 20 million. You want to, I actually think that TubeBuddy's not working right now because this is what it came back with earlier today. You're trying to get this under 100,000. So it's like I said, it's a recipe. It's all knowing how to do the research. Now I would, if I was doing a video, I'm a YouTuber on gut health, I would start my video out. You always want to ask them, and this is how you should do any kind of a post, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, you want to hook them in. So whether it's like 5 years ago, my gut health was, you know, in the toilet, that would actually kind of be funny. Like, you know, like, so you started out where there's different ways to connect. You can do how-tos, you can do an emotional heart-to-heart connection, you can do a list. These are the different types of posts, right? But if I was doing a video, I would say, are you wondering how to help your gut health naturally? In this video, I'm going to talk about how I can improve my gut health naturally, how I detox my gut, and how do I know if my gut is healthy? So I actually call out those questions at the very beginning of my video because YouTube is the second most search engine on the planet, owned by Google, which is the #1 search engine on the planet, right? And so when they read everything, so as I'm speaking, they're transcribing it. They transcribe that and they're like, oh, she's answering these questions, which are the most asked questions on Google right now. And so then they say, okay, I'm gonna share this with the people who are asking these questions, who are searching some of these. Now, once you get keywords everywhere, when you go in there and importance of gut health, you can click on this, it brings it up to the top, it gives you those questions. So like, this is like an endless, can you see why anyone can be successful online? Anyone, there's like an unlimited amount, but we just have to find what you're passionate about because you don't want to copy what Haley Hobson's doing. And that's her personality, right? Like you can't show up and teach her stuff because it's hers. You have to get real with yourself. You have to face who you are and what you love talking about so that when you're answering those questions, you show up authentically and they're like, oh man, this girl she loves what she's doing. She loves, and I want to connect with her. And so can you see how when you click there, now we've got even more signs of healthy gut. Like this is another great post. Like there's endless amounts. It's just doing a little research. Now, I do have to talk a little bit. Can we talk for just a moment on doTERRA Social? Because I love it that doTERRA provides us with these awesome things, right? Like it's so great that doTERRA is offering us these beautiful graphics. But if you are just posting the same thing as everybody else, you will never be found. You will not get clients out of this. You have to speak to your people. And that means we got to get real with who we are and what we love. You can't copy someone else. You can't and someone else might be doing gut health. Someone else might be doing minimalism, but it has to be your authentic self. Okay. Hopefully that is super helpful. Okay. Do we have any questions so far? And do we want to keep going or do we want to like Q&A? Because I can like lead into lead magnets from here.
Tell us the name of that search engine, that Google Chrome extension again.
Okay. It's called, I'll put it in the chat. It's called Keywords Everywhere.
Keywords Everywhere. So just $10 for a year of keyword searching. That's awesome.
So important. Like if you want to do anything online, Pinterest actually has their own, which I'm not on Pinterest. And so I know that you can find that one as well. So if you are a Pinterest person, do that. It's kind of like hashtags on Instagram, but regardless of if, like, I use this for everything. And can I tell you that when I got started, I had like no followers on Instagram, no followers on Facebook. Well, my page had 30,000 followers, but that was from years ago. And then only 400 subscribers on YouTube. And since I focused just on YouTube, I have over 2,000 followers on my 2 separate Instagram accounts I never post on. And I've got my 5,000 almost on YouTube. And I have 300 people personally following me on Facebook. Like, we're not friends, they just follow me. So, okay, question. Do you stick with that topic only? Yes. So with that topic though, you want to share different parts of you. So your why, behind the scenes, like you set up categories, right? Like, and you come up with those, like, got help with my kids, got help with why I'm passionate about this, got help with behind the scenes. Like, you get to come up with those different categories, and you need to become the expert on this. Okay. Now I'm a stroke survivor, so I could totally be doing strokes, right? But and I'll tell you why I don't focus on that too much. I actually do have an audience. I help a lot of stroke people, but I don't speak to that on my YouTube channel much because it's so emotional for me that I cry through it. It was a hard experience. I think I'm getting to a point where I might be able to. So if it's something that brings up too much emotions and will stop you, don't do it. Okay. If it's like, I want you to do something that inspires you to keep going. That inspires. So if you have a mess that is so hard for you to work through, don't make that your message right now. It can be later. Make whatever you feel like you can take action on, because that's what it is. What is stopping us from our businesses growing is we stop taking action. If you want it to grow, if you want to attract the right people, you actually have to be taking action consistently. Consistency trumps talent. Like, how many of us have heard that quote? And if you look at and you watch any of the founders, which are like, I watch all their interviews, it's like they were consistent. They committed to the process. So commit, if you really want to be online, commit to the process. And then it's important to automate your system. Okay. I have 1,500 potential enrollees in my system right now. Can you imagine if I was trying to manage that without automation? There's no way. Even with automation, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to call. Like, it's a lot. Okay. And so automation is the next key to this. The way that we automatically capture leads is we set up a lead magnet. A lead magnet is a funnel. It's a landing page. It's a lead page. Like, all those words mean the same thing. It's a website where the only thing that happens on that one page is you're capturing their information. So many people build websites. Okay. Like, it takes so much time to build a website. You need one landing page, just one, to capture people. Nobody ever goes to my website. Okay. Well, maybe occasionally, but almost like all of my leads come in through a landing page. What is the difference between the two? Because they both have a website, right? They're both like mandysommers.com/this, Mandy, the difference is a landing page has one purpose. It's not choose your own adventure. It doesn't go all over the map. They can't go to your home and your about me and your, like, all the things. A landing page has one thing they're supposed to do. They show up, it's got a headline. It's like, are you wondering what the signs are for gut health? Download my free guide that gives you 5 tips on how to do this. Now, has anybody ever wondered, how do some of these people in doTERRA create these amazing ebooks? Have you ever wondered that? They're coming out with all these things and they have all these great downloads, and I don't know if I can handle that. And it's just so much. Have you ever thought, like, what are they doing? This is another thing that I just love. And how come we don't share this more? Okay, so let me share my screen again. And I'm going to share with you how to, once you've decided what your topic is, okay, now you can actually find something that you can give away for free. That's the beginning of your automation, okay, that will automatically be sent to somebody when they come to, like, you have a post and you're like, find my link in the bio. Never send them to your doTERRA site, right? Like that, there's so many things with that won't work, but you want to send them to your, a landing page that will capture their information. Do they have a membership? What are their top 3 health concerns? And when they answer those questions, they get something for free. It's like a freebie. How many of you have downloaded freebies before, right? So if you don't want to create a freebie and come up with 5 tips for using essential oils for gut health or something like that, you can actually search private label rights products. Okay. And you can buy or get for free tons of, they're called PLRs, private label right things, for natural wellness that will have like a full ebook ready that you can then put your brand on, and you can say, oh, I have a book on essential oils. And it's actually been created by someone else there. It's a private label rights, and you can pay $20 and have a full program that you can then offer as your freebie. Does that make sense? Oh, you're muted, Megan.
Sorry. Do you mind showing them? Like, so we saw how to search it, but once they get there, how do they find that specific ebook?
Yeah. So, Starlee, do you remember the one that I use by any chance? I can't remember the one. There's like a really good one, and I'll find it and I'll share it with you.
You had like the Gutenberg stuff too. I can search for that if you want to go on for a minute.
Yeah, so I'll share this one that I found here, but there's 2 that like focus. Well, there's a natural wellness one that I don't have off the top of my head. So Starlee, if you by any chance, it's okay if you can't find it, Starlee, I'll send it to Megan after. And then there's gutenbergpress.com. Those are like all of the books that were published before, I think like the 1940s. You can actually, like, have you ever wondered how everybody can publish Think and Grow Rich? It's because it's a it's a free, anybody can do it for free. So there's lots of self-help books before the 40s or 30s that you can actually offer for free as well as an addition. And so a private label, right? Let's just search gut health and just see what comes up, if anything does, because this one looks like, oh, good, it's got some. So, you can come through here and find a product. So immune food solutions, like you could do a freebie where it's like, get my immune, my 5 favorite foods for immune solutions or whatever. And this course covers how the immune system works, what it affects, your diet, how your diet can improve or worsen with immunity, things like that. And yes, you can sell this. Yes, you can use this for personal use. Yes, you can use it to build a list. So it tells you all the things you can do with it. And this is actually free, I bet, if you subscribe to them. But there are a lot of, and I will share, oh, here it is, the PLL store. Thank you so much, Starlee. Let me put this in here. It's in the link below, but here, we'll put it in right here. Nope, that's not it. Sorry. My copy paste hasn't been working today. It's like being really weird on my, there it goes again. Okay, so it's not going to pull up for me, but it's in the chat box there, and you can get whatever you want. Like, you can search so many different things, and you can buy them, you can download them for free, and then you have this natural freebie. Now, doTERRA also offers like 25 free ebooks, right? And so you can go in there and use one of those as well. But this is the first step to, now that you've decided who your target market is and you're talking to them, we need to capture those leads. We need to bring them into our system. And we do this with a landing page. Yeah, and OneDrop has some great ebooks as well that you can rebrand. So don't let that stop you, right? Like, how many times can I say this? Whatever's stopping you, we have to work through those barriers. We have to push through them, because what's stopping you is what's keeping you stuck. We need to break that wall down. If you don't like content creation, find something that will give you prompts. You can buy lots of programs that you can just customize. Most of it's there, but you put your own story in them. Automation is all about walking them through a story, your story, with the end result of you're going to help them. And these oils will help them. So the very first part of this story is you do a post about something, and then you link in the bio hey, don't forget to download my free guide. Don't forget to download my tips. Don't forget to register for my class. This was another huge thing for YouTube. I didn't realize I had to ask. And it's the same thing with our doTERRA business. We tell people what to do, right? This is the kit that you should get. You need to do the same thing with social media, where you're saying, download my guide below, and it's going to be sent to your inbox. Register for my class below. Like this week, I've had like 5 or 6 people just in the last 2 days register for my weekly class off of YouTube, because on my video, I said, register below for my class this week. And they will do what you tell them to do. Okay, so now that you've got your landing page set up, the next thing that we have to do is set up an automated email that goes out that delivers that for them. Now, part of automation, and I know that a lot of you are a part of different platforms. This is actually what my academy teaches, is how to take something that automating is a huge process. Can I just tell you, like, such a huge process. It took me a year to automate my system, to get my landing pages, my website, my email sequences, my workflows, all of it working well. And once I got that done, I was like, you know what, now that I know, I can teach people how to do this in 3 months. We are going to shorten that gap so it doesn't have to take you as long. And it's like, and Starlee just said, tell them how you enrolled several people while you're on vacation. So I went on vacation all summer. I was not running any ads, but my automations were working for me. And I'm getting like, oh, you just enrolled somebody. And I'm like, this is why this is so important. This is why it's so important to automate your systems, because once you know what you're talking about, and once you have started this system, you want to be able to follow up. They always say fortune is in the follow-up, right? That follow-up can be mostly automated. Now, I do get on the phone every day. I talk to people live, like they register for things. I actually do call them, but most of it is automated on the back end. We've got our emails set up. We've got our workflows set up. We tag everybody so we know where they come in from. And that's actually, my boot camp starts that process. If you want to speed it up even more, I have an academy that I take doTERRA leaders through that shortens that gap that goes from, a year, which I'm very tech savvy, so it took me a year, down to 3 months. And I am very familiar I was with Wovoto for 3 years, so I know lots of different platforms. I'm on a different platform now, but I do know the Wovoto platform pretty well. In fact, a lot of their videos and their testimonials have come from what I built on there. And so I know that some of you are on Wovoto. That's why I mentioned that. Okay, so do we have any other questions? Do you want me to go even deeper? Like, Megan, what are your thoughts?
That's a good question. So I just wanted to emphasize one thing that I think is so crucial that you were talking about, kind of all the way back in niche, actually. And I love this. Yeah, Jennifer says, I love this. I'm in this program called Insta Club Hub with Shalene Johnson and Brock Johnson, where they talk a lot about kind of mostly Instagram stuff, but the idea of, and I know, Jennifer, you had this question, do I just talk on that one thing, or can I talk on multiple things? And and I love that they kind of emphasize exactly what Mandy's talking about, where let's say that somebody comes to your Instagram or your YouTube or wherever your content is, and you have stuff about your dog, and then you have stuff about essential oils, and then you have stuff about whatever it is, like you're just like this mod podge of things, then no one's going to come to you and think like, this person is speaking to me. And so if you get really, really specific on who you're speaking to, then suddenly that's why they stay. So here's a good example that they gave in the Insta Club Hub. There's this Octo Nation Instagram. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but they have like 300,000 followers, and they only post about octopuses. That's all. That's nothing else. But they have these hundreds of thousands of followers. But if they started posting about tigers or lions or bears, everyone else would be like, nah, I'm not really interested. But because every single thing there is one thing that really gets everybody excited, they know what they're going to be getting if they follow them. It's very clear. And so I think that's why in doTERRA, getting super niche down, and not just, well, I'm going to post everything about essential oils, but really, is it toxic free cleaning? Like what exactly do you like to speak on? And I think that is where you'll find like the gem, where you start to, people be like, oh, she gets me, or he gets me.
Well, and I think sometimes P.S. I love Charlene. She's amazing. I've bought a couple of her programs. And so I'm like, that's awesome. You're in that program. I think sometimes in doTERRA, we get afraid of niching down. We're like, we don't want to be pigeonholed, right? Like, I don't want to just be this person. And the fact of the matter is, you don't have to just be that person. On Instagram, you're going to be that person. But when people come to you, suddenly you can teach, like, and they come to your main class. I teach all different topics all the time now. It's not just like I teach in public. Like, I have a very specific thing I teach in public, but when they get into my groups, I'm very expansive with what I teach. But my public, like what I'm attracting in is basically like the same stuff over and over again. And so I don't want you to feel like I can never talk anything else ever again. Like, but when you are very specific with what you're doing, you know, that then you will attract the right people who, you know, like my leader, Bree, who's a dog trainer. Like, the dogs aren't the only people who are going to be the only things that are going to be using essential oils, right? Those dog owners want them to learn how to use them for them, but she brings them in talking about how to use oils on your dogs. And then suddenly she can talk all the other things. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is, you know, you're here in doTERRA because you are an entrepreneur and you love residual income. And can I tell you how amazing it is? Now that I know the formula, I can create as many programs as I want, talking about whatever I want, and bring all of those people in as well. And so it's like, once you're online, the possibilities are endless. And you'll notice, like Haley Hobson, she's got a zillion, you know, different things. Like, you can expand your business even more once you get really good at learning this how to grow online. And it's not just using doTERRA social. I hate saying that, but like, it's so true, especially because my brother is the director of marketing at doTERRA. So I'm like, I love your program, but like, no. But he has to provide it to like everybody, you know. So
what I love about that, this might be a fact that not everybody knows, but Instagram started out as an app for bourbon drinkers. And there was to be a community where those that drink bourbon could get together on an app and like collaborate and kind of create a community around it. Then now it is Instagram. So because they niche down into that itty bitty little niche, suddenly they realize, oh, there are more people who want to create a community around their topics. We will expand our little bourbon app and turn it into something bigger. And so by niching down, it then opens up the possibilities to reach more people.
And I think before I niched down and I got crystal clear on what I was doing, you know, I spent 8 years trying to figure out YouTube and I was posting on Instagram and I was so stressed with all the platforms. Can I just tell you? Like, so stressed. And in my program, I teach you how to batch create. I create content. In fact, next week, I'm doing like 26 videos, and that might seem overwhelming, but I've learned how to get it all done in one day instead of every single week having to come up with a new thing and having that weigh on you. No, we're trying to relieve all of that. We want you to be able to show up for your people, healthy, strong, excited. Like, here I am today. I'm able to teach because all of this stuff has been automated in my back system. Like, I know my people are being nurtured. I know that things are being taken care of. And that's the exciting thing about being online. And no one who is enrolling online and who is building online does not like successfully. Everyone has an automation behind them. And that's the part that doesn't get taught very often, is that how to complete. For me, I did ClickFunnels, I did ActiveCampaign, I was on Wovoto, I was doing all the things, right? It wasn't until I brought it all together and I had a systematic system that was like bringing people through. The program that I use now, we have like a pipeline that shows where people are in the process so that when I call them, I can say, oh, I see you came to a class, because they clicked a link and that like automatically moved them to a class. You know, I see you came to a class. How did you like that class? Can we talk about what are your top 3 health concerns? But I actually have them in my notes because they've already filled it out. Like, oh, you need help with gut health. Let me give you some recommendations, things like that. So it's so powerful Today, if there's like a few things to take away from this, it's that you need to get clear on your platform. Choose the one that you want to be on. Instagram does not bring me joy. It stresses me out, so I'm not on it. Like every day trying to come up with reels, and like I haven't been able to figure that one out yet. Although I love TikTok. And so I'm starting TikTok now that I've established my YouTube. Now that I'm crystal clear on my YouTube platform, I can expand to other platforms because it's not going to stress me out. But we need to get crystal clear. We need to create a plan that does not stop you in your tracks. And then we need to make sure that it's automated so that it naturally moves forward.
I love that. So here's a follow-up question, because I know we're just about to wrap up, but because I just had this conversation the other day with another client where a lot of her business is online and she brings people in through like Google ads and other things. But the struggle now she's having is that they're trying to make that relationship experience where it's not just all through it's not ethereal, like they're actually developing relationship with these people. So do you want to speak on that for just a hot second on now that you're bringing people in, you've set up these automation, you're showing up online and people are coming into the door. How do you develop that actual one-on-one connection with those people so that they feel nurtured and taken care of and not just one of the people that happen to find you online?
Okay, I love this question because this was what was stopping me once I automated. So what you'll find is once you get through one wall, you typically come up against the next. So I suddenly have all these people coming into my system. This is something I still fight like on a consistent basis. Because then like I actually I'm very good in group setting. One-on-one, I get super nervous. Okay. I'm a big presenter. One-on-one, I'm like, what if I can't like, please the way that they're like answer their questions, and like I'm like all up in my head. And so this has been something that I struggled with. I tend to over talk. And so that connection, I've come up with something that has worked really well. First of all, anytime you never want to message somebody and be like, hey, do you want to buy essential oils? So when you're setting up your system and people are coming in, I always have a question. Are you interested in learning about essential oils, purchasing essential oils, or learning and purchasing essential oils? Then I'm crystal clear as to what they're wanting from me. The more information you can get on the front end on that lead magnet, the better. You don't want it like super long, but I want to know, are they doTERRA wellness advocates? Are they interested in learning? And what are their top 3 health concerns? Then when I connect with them, the first thing I always do, and this is another huge thing, but I love Facebook groups. It's a whole nother like thing I talk. It's like the best thing ever. I hate Facebook, but Facebook groups is organic and lots of interaction. It's like a community. And so I always make sure that they get an invitation, like the thank you page on my lead page leads them to Facebook, which is where I can get in message with them. Okay, so then my first interaction is always a text message, whether it be texting, which my platform does texting that I use, or Facebook Messenger. And I ask them, hey, are you new to essential oils? You want to ask questions that get them talking. I used to be like I used to ask super complicated questions, but are you new to essential oils is a great way to open things up. And then you'll find out that they are like, yes, I am, or kind of, no. And then I'm like, oh, tell me more. What brought you to this group? Why are you here? And you just begin opening up that conversation. Now with online messaging, it's important to match, which means if they write a big paragraph, you write a big paragraph. If they write a small paragraph, you write a small paragraph. You want to match their communication style. Now, after I've communicated with them a bit, I will use 2 other ways of communicating. I message them with voice memo on Facebook or texting. I'll be like, hey, I was thinking about you. I hope you were able to catch this class. Were you able to try essential oils? Do you want to have a sample? Like there's lots of different things you can ask, which I don't send samples very often. So don't think that that's something that, but I do have a class on how to sample and like how to ship them in a cheap way. Anyways, so you can voice memo, and then, and this is actually the powerful one, I video message. So today will probably be a day I video message because I have makeup on. So I don't do it every day, but I do it on the days where I'm like not looking like I just rolled out of bed, because I don't like wearing makeup very often. So a lot of times I am just, normal. And actually, after I've video messaged them a few times, I will give them a no makeup Mandy, just so that they feel even more connected. You have to understand that building online is harder than in person because you have to make more connections. Notice how I message them, they get emails from me, they get voice memos from me, they get videos from me. I'm trying to give them all these different experiences where they hear my voice, they see me, they are getting my typing. So, it's super important for you to recognize and realize that you can't just stick to one thing. If somebody's like, hey, yeah, I'm interested in learning more, and then you send them like a message just like this long, like I did that once. And before I learned that you're supposed to match messages, and the lady wrote back and she's like, dude, why so long? And I was like, what? I'm just trying to answer your question. And then I learned like 2 months later, you're supposed to match so that they don't think you're weird or like you're stalking them, So I was like, oh, there's that problem right there. Anyway, so does that help? Those are kind of the things that I do to follow up once they're in my system. And then honestly, this is the hardest thing, is I get on the phone. I always ask for their phone number. They don't always give it. But when they give me that phone number, I call them up, I leave them a message. My system that I use actually allows me to pre-record a voice memo that then goes directly to their inbox. So I can say, hey, like keep it generic. Hey, thanks for registering for my class. I'm super excited to see you there. This is actually something that I have programmed in. So 4 hours before, they get a voice memo from me that's like, hey, our class starts in 4 hours. Be sure to show up 5 minutes early to enter our drawing. Like, I'm super excited to see you there. And I promise I will address whatever health issues you put on your questionnaire. And so now they're getting a voice memo from me. And then I actually do physically call as well. And people are funny. They'll be like, wait, is this actually you? Like the one from YouTube? I'll be like, yeah, I'm, I noticed you registered for my class, but this, like, you're not an assistant? No, this is Mandy. Like, do you have any questions for me before you come to the class? They'll be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're calling me. So a lot of time, and probably 4 out of 10 people will actually pick up the phone and they'll be like, hello? Hey, this is Mandy from the Essential Oil Experience. I was just calling because I know you downloaded my guide or you did this or that. And so you want to do all those touches.
I love this so much because I feel like this whole conversation would almost be moot if we set up all these systems, all these things to bring people in, and then we don't nurture them and they don't feel supported. And so I feel like this piece is so key that once we get people in the door, we actually really need to take care of them and not, I know that all of you have assistants that are on this call, and the instinct might be just to funnel all of them to, an email campaign or an automated text campaign, which are great, by the way. We're super helpful, but that's not the end all. They need to hear from you, see from you, feel like they have a relationship with you directly, not just with your assistant. They need to feel you in their presence, so they feel like you actually care about them as an individual, so that they want to continue learning more and coming to your classes and things.
Yeah. And can I just tell you, when I started doing all of this, it was nerve-wracking. And I enrolled a lady, her name's Yoshana, last November, and she was she was in the first 4 months of me doing this online stuff, and to this day that woman is like one of my best friends. And I think about her and many others in this last year that we've brought into our team. Our team is actually growing, where I know a lot of teams are diminishing because of the pandemic, and I see these relationships, and Yashana cries every time we talk. She's like, I was searching for you. I needed the help. I needed this. Her mom had just died of COVID. She was terrified to leave her house. She needed something that helped her to feel protected so that she could go out into society. And that's what the essential oils provided for her. And so just know that as hard as it might be to set up the automations and to learn this, you're literally changing lives. It's not just like it's changing your life, it's changing multiple lives. And these people are praying for you. They're praying for some help, some support, some guidance. They are looking for solutions. And they're actually, like you saw today, they're searching for this. Like they are searching for those live solutions. And you just have to be willing to open up and break through those walls that are stopping you. Now, I did put a link in the description below. And this is a registration for my boot camp. That is coming up on November 11th through 17th. It is 6 days. And if you were like, I learned a lot, this is like a very small portion, huh, Starly, of like what will come. I literally like give you all the secrets. I do not hold back. I don't believe in holding back. I have bought way too many programs that hold back. And then of course, if you then decide you want to be a part of my academy, it's a 3-month intensive program. It goes 12 full weeks where by the end of that, you will have a fully automated functioning system with all the emails, all the text messages, all the landing pages, everything that you need to fully support, so that all you have to do is like what I do, get on those calls and follow up with people, and you don't have to worry about everything in the background. Basically, we've taken what usually takes about a year and a half to create and condensed it down into 3 months. And if you need to ask somebody about it, Starly has been in my program and she's actually the one that introduced me to Megan. And so, yeah, that's what that is. The boot camp will then, you'll have the opportunity. It is a very limited, because I'm building a doTERRA business. So I do cap my boot camp and I only take a certain number of students. So if you get in and you start thinking this is something I definitely want to do, just let me know. I have a waiting list that has about 10 people on it already. And so we will only have a few slots open for this next round.
Awesome. Well, who found some great value from our call today? I hope you all walked away with some ahas and feel like you can make some great action moving forward on your own businesses. And hopefully we can get some of you in that boot camp. So thank you so much for joining us, Mandy. We really appreciate the value that you shared with us today. And I did have a few other things for you all, but I think I'll just put them in the email notes that we'll send out afterwards. We'll collect all of these links that we shared today and send them in the email notes that we send in the next couple of days. And we'll of course share the recording so that if those that are watching later can see this also. So thank you so much, everybody. It looks like we have some great chats in here. And we will talk to you soon. Thanks so much.
Thanks again.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye.
And Mandy, hang on just one second. I have a quick question for you as we're getting everybody off.